Hi, in this video I'm going to show you two different techniques that you can use to join in the round. So I have previously shown you another technique, and all of these work great to avoid the step that we usually get at the beginning of the round. But with the other technique, the first stitch is basically slipped, so it only works if the first stitch is a knit stitch. The two techniques that I'm showing you today also work if the first stitch is knitted through the back loop or if it's a purl stitch. So for this, I have used the first technique that I will show you. So as you can see, this looks quite nice. And here I have used the second technique, and I have not yet weaved in the end, but I think it still looks quite nice. It's a little bit more visible than the first technique, I would say. Okay, so let's get started. Alright, so I have already casted on a few stitches on a circular needle, and the beginning of this technique looks a little bit like the last technique that I showed you. So we are just going to slip the first stitch over to the right needle, and now we pass the first stitch on the right needle over this stitch. Now we have to make sure that we don't pull this stitch too big. So I'm going to pull on the tail and the working yarn a bit. And now this is basically the beginning of our round. So we can use a stitch marker to mark that. And now we just work the first stitch like we work the stitches of the round. So we can knit it through the back loop, we can purl it, it doesn't matter. So you just work that first stitch, and then you would work the rest of the stitches. And as you can see, we have a little bit of a gap here, but we can correct that by just pulling on the tail. And that's it. If we use the second technique, we basically just put this stitch onto this needle and this stitch onto that needle. So first, slip this stitch off the needle, but be careful not to lose it. And then we can pull this stitch over to the other needle, like this. And now pick up this stitch, put it onto this needle, and now we can pull on the strands a bit to tighten things up. And this is the beginning of the round, so we can set a marker, and then we would just work the stitches of our round. So you can knit it through the back loop, doesn't matter. Yeah, and that's that. I hope this video was helpful, and thanks for watching.